I was born Amish, raised with hard work and quiet faith. For 18 years, I followed the rules, never asking why I felt different, only that I must push it down, bury it deep, and never let it see the light of day. But then David and Lucas moved into the old Miller farmhouse, and everything I thought I knew about the world, about love, about myself, all of it began to unravel. The scandal of the two Englishmen. No one in our community had ever seen the likes of them before. They were too much, too loud, too free, and too shameless. Their clothes fit too closely, clinging where they should have hung loose. They drank coffee at all hours, not just in the morning, as is proper. And when they spoke, they didn't lower their eyes with humility, but met a man's gaze, as if they were his equal. And worst of all, they loved each other. From the moment they arrived, the town was troubled by them. People would glance their way, then quickly look down, murmuring prayers under their breath. Sister Mary would press her lips into a thin line whenever she saw them pass by in that little red truck of theirs. Even Brother Eli, a man slow to anger, began clenching his fists whenever their names were mentioned. At first, there was only silence. The kind of silence that fills a room when an unspoken truth hangs heavy in the air. But one afternoon, outside the blacksmith shop, David kissed Lucas on the cheek. The silence that followed was deafening. Sister Mary's butter churn slipped from her grasp. Brother Eli whispered a prayer, though whether it was for mercy or for judgment, none could tell. Mothers pulled their children away, as if the ground beneath those two men had caught fire. And yet, while the rest of the town turned away, I stood there, unable to move, watching, wanting, wondering. My name is Isaac, and I was raised in the ways of the old order. From the time I was a boy, I knew my place. I would grow strong, work the land as my father had, take a wife, and raise a family. That was the way of things, the way it had always been. I had no reason to think life could be any different. No reason to question what I'd been taught, until the day those two Englishmen moved into the old Miller farm down the road. At first, I didn't pay them much mind. The English come and go, always doing things that seem strange to us. They build their houses too tall, paint their barns in colors that don't belong to the earth, and ride about in their noisy cars, never content to stay in one place. We watch them, but we do not trouble ourselves with their ways. But these two were different. The women in town whispered about them in hushed tones behind the market stalls. Did you hear about the new Englishmen? One would say. They're not just friends. They're together. Together? Another would ask. Like a man and his wife?